It is called the big shift. It is time in your life when you switch from saving for retirement to spending in retirement. We are talking about it today with Jacksonville's retirement coach, Adam Wolf. Adam joins us every Tuesday on First Coast Living. Adam, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Okay, so this is the big shift. People, they might know what it means, but they don't know there's actually a title for it, right? The time when you go from you're working your whole life, you're earning a paycheck, now you're going off of your savings. So talk about what this means for your clients and how you help them with this period.
Yeah, many people think they may be prepared for it mentally, emotionally, physically, but it's a very anxious time during your life to transition into retirement, and mentally preparing of what you want to actually have occur and want to do in retirement. Whether it's some people choose to just work in something they want to work in, some people volunteer, some people want to spend more time with the kids or travel, but it's a very anxious time. And a lot of times, if we can solve where the next paycheck is going to come from, or where the income is going to come from, when the paycheck turns off from the employer, that solves a lot of that anxiety.
And do you find that a lot of people come into your office with anxiety, thinking about this time where, am I going to be able to have the funds to be able to maintain the lifestyle that I want into retirement?
It happens all the time, and it's all about, preparing for and saving the money during retirement and making sure you put that money away to get to a level and a plan, having a plan and a written plan on paper that shows, with all your different sources of income, different assets that you have, different retirement savings, when to turn those on, when to take Social Security, when to take your pension. Once you have a plan on paper, in writing, that says this is what's going to occur to make that happen in retirement, it alleviates a lot of that stress and a lot of that anxiety.
So talk about what people can do now at this phase in their life to make sure, as they're preparing for retirement or entering retirement, to make sure that they are well prepared. What should they be thinking about? Yeah,
the first thing is having a retirement budget. Talking to yourself and your spouse, if you have one, sitting down at the table and getting on the same page of these are the bills we're going to have for retirement. And a lot of times that's not very happy to talk about. It's not very cool to talk about, but we have to talk about the budget. Then we have to identify the different assets that you have, whether you have a 401k, an IRA, any kind of drop plan, any kind of VALIC plan, those types of plans, to make sure that you have aligned when to take those monies out, what the tax consequence will be, and to overall alleviate the stress and risk in retirement.
You're offering today, and we'll get into the details a little bit later, the readiness review for your client, for people who aren't potentially or could be clients, aren't your clients yet. You say you do this complimentary. What does the retirement readiness review, what do you provide to potential clients?
Great. So when we sit down with folks for the first time, we do it in a very relaxed environment. You meet Andrea, meet Robin on the front end. Coming into our office, you have one of the best cups of coffee in Jacksonville. Then we start talking about what you want to have occur in retirement. Whether you're already retired or getting ready to retire. We review overall what your goals are. Then we talk about the assets and the savings that you have. Now, a lot of times, and there's different financial vehicles out there. There are vehicles that are sort of new, that haven't been around the last 10 years, or if you've been in a 401k plan and you're only used to mutual funds and maybe some high expense mutual funds, those mutual funds, in retirement, you have all these different options. So on a full-time basis, we're reviewing these different investment vehicles. We're trying to implement those into plans as much as possible, but we take a look at the tax exposure, we take a look at the risk, we take a look at the fees in the overall plan, and that's what you get from us. You get a written, prospectus as to what to do next, whether it's with us, whether to take it to your other advisor, or whether to do it on your own.
So just so people know when they come in, do they bring their documents with them? Do they say, here's my 401k, here's my other assets that I have this mutual fund, I have this. Then they provide that to you, you look it over while sitting there? Because it takes some time to review all this stuff. I'm just kind of wondering what people should expect when they come in.
So what to expect, coming in, we leave it up to the client, or the initial meeting, the prospective client, to bring in what they're comfortable bringing in. I had a gentleman last week come in with his wife. They brought in just a synopsis of what they want to have happen. Didn't bring in any of their additional statements, but then we follow up with them and make that additional step to do the research, to put the hours in, because it takes time to review these things and then come up with a game plan and a framework for what they want to have happen. And if they have a current advisor, it's a great second opinion, but also they can take that to their current advisor, or as long as they're a good advisor to implement that the way they know how to implement
So
it.
you say, and you've mentioned on the show before, there's no obligation with that first meeting.
Exactly.
It's just kind of get more information. As we always say, information is power, and knowing where you are financially, the fee structure, what have you.
Exactly.
To be able to use that going forward. Adam, it's so good to see you.
Great to see you, Casey.
Thank you for being here. We
You
appreciate
are
you
welcome.
as always, and we'd like to thank Wolf Retirement Navigation for sponsoring this segment. If you are one of the first 10 callers right now, Adam is offering that complimentary retirement readiness review. It's good for those who are nearing retirement or are already in retirement. The number is on your screen for more information. They have 2 locations, one in Jacksonville, also in Clay County. WolfRetirement.com for more information there. But again, one of the first 10 callers to call Adam Wolf. And I think we have the phone number, but if the phone number is not listed up there, then you can just go to his website and you'll find it right there on the homepage. There you go. See, speak and it shall appear.